Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing tonight? All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening here at the Millennium Stage. We're so happy to have you all. Tonight we have a very special guest here all the way from the Republic of Georgia. Please put your hands together for the Zedashe Ensemble.
That was a feasting song from the East Georgian province of Kakheti. It's a song sung while drinking and eating around the table, and it says that a person that sings without drinking or drinks without singing can't be trusted. The next song is called Zweli Abadela, and this is from a Black Sea coastal region called Guria, and it talks about the transitory nature of life. Next will be a medieval chant from the same region, from Guria. It's called Motsa Peni Sheni, and it's sung on the feast day of Peter and Paul. And it retells the story from the gospel of when the apostles weren't catching any fish and Christ told them to throw the net in once more, and then they pulled out the net, and with lots of fish and the nets were bursting. Next piece will be from Swaneti. Swaneti is a northwestern highland region. The song is called Gal Gache, and it recalls a historical battle in the 19th century when one village of Swaneti decided they were going to revolt against the Tsar's army, that they didn't want to be part of the Russian Empire any longer. But it was quite important and historical battle for the Swan people because there was only 42 families fighting an army, an entire Tsar's army, and 1,200 soldiers from the Tsar side died in the war. The Swans live in these towers, and they were able to protect themselves being on top of a mountain. But when the village was finally taken, all the men were exiled to Siberia that were still alive, and all the women and children were forbidden to live in that village any longer. And all the way up until 2002, no one had ever returned. And we went on a song expedition to collect materials surrounding the history and heard from a family that were the descendants of people that actually fought in that battle, the content of the song. That song, by the way, was sung in the Swan language. There's 3 languages spoken in Georgia: Swan, Megrelian, and Kartlian. And they all employ a script that's unique to Georgia itself. It's one of the 13 living scripts in the world today. And all 3 of them comprise the family that we call the South Caucasian language family group. And it is not connected to or related to any other language family group in the world as far as we know. The next song will be sung in yet another language, Megrelian, and it's a lullaby. Megreli is also a coastal region on the Black Sea. So moving from the coastal region of Megrelia now, polyphonically, to the green hills of Imereti. This will be a love song, a kind of flirtatious, playful song about a boy that encounters a woman that he hopes to impress in the streets. And that will be followed by an Georgian dance tune played on a small bagpipe called the chiboni, and a drum called the dole, and with dancing. Political history in the Caucasus in general is kind of a convoluted and complicated history. Georgia is the meeting point between Europe and Asia, and just about every major empire from the east expanding westward or from the west expanding eastward at some point in time tried to control the gateway to that land bridge. And Georgians love most of all to drink wine, write poetry, and sing polyphonic songs, but all too often they were forced to have to protect their homeland, their language, and their culture, their religion. This song dates back to the Russian-Turkish War, when Russia was helping to expel the Turks out of Georgia, but one very important commander-in-chief defected to the Turkish side, and in exchange for that, he became the governor of the province of Ajara for Turkey after the war. And the song Ali Pasha talks about the treachery of one of their own. So next up we have a shepherd song. Most of Georgian traditional music is three-part polyphony, whether it's chant meant to be sung in church or if it's a folk song. But there is a tradition of the shepherd songs, and shepherds were often alone. Here we put a little bit of harmony in the song, but it's mainly dancing to drums and singing solo songs. That'll be followed by a medieval chant from eastern Georgia, from the monastery of Ikalto, that is part of the Paschal cycle, so it's sung on Easter Sunday. And for those of you that don't know, Georgia became a Christian state in the first quarter of the 4th century. Scholars put it somewhere between 327 and 333 AD was when the actual state, the king and queen, accepted Christianity on behalf of the entire nation as the official religion. It's about the same time that, as in Rome, persecutions had ended and Christianity was a permissible religion in the empire. In Georgia, it was already, the leading religion of the country. Georgians became Christian as a result of the missionary effort of a young woman named Saint Nina, who came from Cappadocia, but she finished a process that was begun by Andrew the First called and Simon the Canaanite, two of the apostles. Next will be a Orvella. It's a special song genre about farming, and this comes from this particular version from Samsche Javacheti from southern Georgia, and has very curious symbols in the text. It's kind of a blend of both pagan and Christian symbols. It talks about how the creation of the world began on a Monday, and after man was created, the angels felt sorry for him because he would have to farm and till the earth all by himself. He had no helpers. And then the oxen said, well, we will be happy to serve man, and we will help them till their fields. And the angels descended from the heavens and lit candles and put them on the horns of the oxen, and in sacrifice gave them 7 silver belts each, which is interesting, maybe symbolic of the 7 days of creation. Next up, we have a feasting song from Racha. Georgians have songs to accompany just about every aspect of life, whether they were marching into war and wanted to yodel to get their adrenaline going, or laments and dirges that were sung for recently deceased. And there's, yes, a whole genre of feasting songs, songs appropriate to sing at the table when you're consuming usually quite copious amounts of wine and food. And in addition to polyphony, which is a huge treasure of Georgia, there's more than 10,000 known complex polyphonic songs and chants. It's phenomenal that they have transcended time and made it all the way to the 21st century. But in addition to polyphony, Georgia is, in complicated politics, is probably most known for its wine culture. Georgians cultivated the wild grapevine more than 8,000 years ago and have an unbroken tradition of fermenting wine in clay vessels buried under the ground and storing them in those clay vessels all the way up to bottling. The vessels are called qvevri, and they have also the greatest biodiversity of endemic wine grapes on the face of the planet. There are more than 525 known Georgian grape varieties. And like with everything in Georgia, perhaps the most special thing is not that they started doing it so many millennia ago, it's that they never stopped, that you can still see living ancient traditions in Georgia that are alive and are still in a creative evolution at this very moment today. So this is Rachuli Supruli.
Thank you.
Next will be a song called The Round Dance of Amiran. This was traditionally danced by hunters before they were going to go into the forest or the fields to hunt. There was a huge fire in the middle, and they would dance around the fire talking about the exploits of Amiran. Amiran was the son of Dali, who was believed to be the goddess that protected hunters and made sure that their hunts were successful. And it talks about his prowess as a hunter, and also that he came to a big castle and he couldn't find the door, and so he just kicked in the wall and entered the castle. So he was a very strong man.
Oh
Next will be another Swanetian song called Ga, and this is a very ancient song. According to oral tradition, it goes back more than 2,000 years ago, and it was used as a pagan ritual song. Next will be a song from Abkhazia. It is the most western province of Georgia, but it's also been a disputed territory and has been a location of quite a lot of bloodshed and war ever since the early 90s. This will be sung in the Abkhazian tongue, which is actually in the Circassian language family group. Abkhazians are believed to have relocated from the North Caucasus to what was then historically known as Kolchis Kolkhida, which makes up western Georgia. And although it's difficult to visit Abkhazia these days, in Georgia, Abkhazian polyphony is very much celebrated, very much loved, and in general it's believed that between the Abkhazians and Georgians aren't so much conflict. It was more that Abkhazia was sacrificed as a result of greater geopolitical tension in the region. So we'll sing this song and hope that there will be peace soon there.
Oh
So we have one more song for you on that previous note of peace. This is going to be a war dance. It's from Ajara. It's called Khurumi. We do have CDs. It's our 8th album, and they're back in the back there. So if you like the concert, it's difficult to keep 10 people on the road for 5 weeks and keep them fed and housed. And so all your purchases for the CDs go straight to the choir. Any of you that have friends or family in Richmond, Virginia, we're going to be performing at the Richmond Folk Fest next on the 9th, 10th, and 11th. And please spread the word to folks down there. And if you want to come see us again, we have a lot of repertoire. We could only fit so much in 1 hour. And there's going to be different songs performed there. And it's only 2.5-hour drive, 2-hour drive. So this last piece is Khurumi. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. It was a great honor to perform here at the Kennedy Center on the Millennium Stage. Thank you.